So a lot of people talk about competition and the benefits of competition, where, I mean, at least that's what we talk about a lot in business school. And what we look at is that, competition is a glorious thing, right? That's the whole basic premise behind the Olympics, for example. Competition drives us to become faster, bigger, faster, stronger. Um, but what often people don't talk about, and I was thinking about the whole Tanya Harding thing from many years ago, is that there is a lot of. So, by the way, if you don't know who that was, she was an Olympic. Uh, she was an Olympic athlete, and I can't remember which way. If she was the attacker or another person was the attacker, but went and broke somebody's legs. That was She was an Olympic figure skater. There was a movie about it. It was at the time. This is probably 30 years ago now, 20 years ago. It was a big deal. And, I often think about that. And I often think about in my own life with competition or business. I think about, building the Reciprocity Project, for example, this platform to help people do research that there often has to be um, what competition ignores is that it focus on the people that got through and that were successful. Imagine in a military selection, you're trying to become the Navy SEALs. And the number of people that ring the bell, that's how they get out of it. They have to ring the bell when they're trying out. I think they call it like L week or something. I can't remember what it is. But they ring a bell when they want to quit. And the vast majority of the people that they start off with like 100 different candidates, and almost all of them ring the bell and they all quit. Um, and what we focus on almost always is the ones that got through, right? The Navy SEALs are part of the SEALs or the winners that are on the podium. And then we forget about all of the other people that tried and didn't get through. And we say that, oh, that was, they disappear. They're not part of the story. But I think that group of people is extremely important for telling the story of what actually goes on, but as well of improving overall performance or on average making things better. I often think about that, right? We focus on the top performers almost always, but we never tell a story of what raises everybody so that there's collectively better off, right? So we could focus on the top performers working harder and give them resources and a lot of different resources so they can work, you know, harder, faster, all that kind of stuff, and then they perform. But what if we collectively move the dial on everybody as much as you possibly can, right? So um, the Summer Olympics, it's going on right now. Swimming is a big thing. Kind of know a little bit about swimming, and we can focus on the swimmers that are there, the Olympic athletes that are there, or we can move down the dial and encourage more people to participate, make it more fun. So we actually have a bigger base. And on top of it, not only then we have a bigger base to sort of select from, but at the same time, we collectively encourage everybody to learn a life skill that is just truly wonderful. Right. And I think about all the people, why they actually drop out of swimming, for example, um, and why they stop swimming and enjoying what they do. Um, you know, it's because that they have a lot of different experiences. They don't have the resources, all of the basic stories. And if we move the dial just a little bit, on those folks, we can collectively improve things a lot more. So that's why I often think about how do we move that dial so that we're not just focusing collectively on the best, right? If we just focus on the best, we create the sort of Tanya Harding moment where people believe winning is the most important thing. Um, but Instead, what we need to do is balance this, right? Where we have this collective, healthy competition where we are encouraging people, and there's lots of sports that actually do this quite well. Things like Ultimate Frisbee, for example. I've played that before. A lot of rec league things. There's like tag that's becoming a big thing right now. Um, where there's healthy competition, but it's kind of fun, right? And that hyper aggression is taken out of it. And that's where I'm trying to focus on often is finding that right balance, at least for myself, but also with building into the platform of I'm trying to encourage people to, to love science, to love doing the whole research game, to know how to do it. So it's collectively finding that right balance where we love to do what we're doing, but at the same time, that we're faced a little bit challenged every day. I use this, I use Duolingo. Most of you probably know what it is a language learning app. And it's both freaking annoying because you got to get up and you do this every single day, and that turns a lot of people off. But at the same time, there is a little bit of playfulness to it. So you actually want to do it every single day. And that combination, I think, is very healthy. Um, and it's encouraging and kind of silly. And that's an important combination. I often think about that. Is how do you get that where you collectively people want to show up and be part of something, but at the same time that they feel encouragement to do just a hair better, not a lot better, just a hair better than what they were a month ago, right? So that they collectively feel like they're making progress. And the truth is a lot of things we don't make progress in, right? Like most of us don't. We just don't make progress. We make a heck of a lot of progress in a short amount of time when you first start things, but then after that, there's nothing much that changes. And so the challenge then becomes is how do you keep people going in that moment where it's no longer fun? The sort of rosiness falls off, right? And you become more in the grind. And that's the trickier part. And that's where unhealthy competition, I think, starts to emerge. So anyways, my point is really think about the competition that you want to participate in and what that actually looks like. It matters to how you feel about yourself. It also matters to how other people feel about themselves. It matters to what happens next. All of those things are incredibly important. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.